Hello everyone, greetings for the day. Welcome back to the tutorial on ISTQB. This is Neeraj Kumar Singh and you are watching ISTQB Foundation series. We are still in chapter 4, but we are getting started with the white box testing techniques, which will help you to understand that how white box techniques can really help developers to create test cases and minimize the test cases at the same time. So we have two techniques to undergo from this particular section, that is statement testing or coverage, and the second one as decision testing or coverage. So we'll be starting in this about the first technique here in this tutorial, that is statement testing or coverage. But before that, let's understand what white box techniques is all about. Generally, when you talk about white box testing techniques, of course, we have two techniques to understand here, and to a certain extent, we call that decision testing is also known as branch testing or branch coverage, where decision testing is considered to be one of the stronger techniques than the statement testing, and that will be able to understand once we come to the explanation and understanding of both the techniques one after the other. So as of now, we can keep that statement into consideration, that decision testing is stronger than statement, and at the same time, as it is stronger than statement, if 100% decision coverage is achieved on any particular program, it guarantees 100% statement coverage, but not vice versa. That means at any point of time, if you achieve 100% statement coverage in any particular program, then it doesn't really guarantee all the time 100% decision coverage. So let's anyways get to understanding of these techniques. But before you get into that, we need to understand what exactly is a flowchart. Now, when you talk about flowchart, generally it is created for a pseudocode. So what you can see on the screen right now, we have got a pseudocode here which generally represents certain activities to be conducted as a part of the program. But when you say pseudocode, it generally means that it's not mandatory. It will be as per the syntax, as per the protocols of any programming environment, any programming language, but it will just convey you that what exactly we are trying to do. For example, if you see here, I've got read A, read B. If E is greater than B, then print A is bigger, else print B is bigger, and end if. So generally, to derive the number of test cases, or I can say minimum number of test cases, you have to convert this program into flowchart. And for that, we can just draw something like this, where you can see it starts from point A start and has two variables to be read. And then we have a condition where we have two outcomes, one is true, one is false. As we have a true, which comes to print A, false will print B, and then end if, and then the end of the program. So generally it is all about measuring the different paths, possible paths between the diagrams. But before that, we need to understand what basically a flowchart comprises of. What does it consist of? So it consists of two major elements when you talk about flowcharts. One is the branches, where you can see the arrow marks, and we call them as either branch or decisions. We generally know it as branch or decisions. And the second component is all these boxes or enclosed bodies in the black color, which generally stands for nodes or statements. Now you would have already got an idea that what exactly we are trying to test as a part of these two techniques, that is statement testing and decision testing. So as a part of statement testing, you test the statements, that is nodes, and as a part of decision testing, you test the branches, that is the directions between these nodes. So let's take another example to understand what exactly it is. So generally it is a measure of the paths, which is also known as an executable path, which reaches from the start point to the end point of the flowchart. So let's take a quick understanding of the same thing, where I've got the same flowchart here, and the path would be something starting from here to there at the bottom. Or the second thing, we will be moving from the alternative path, that is false. So generally, it is to measure, or one or the other way, follow the paths to cover the maximum or all the nodes and all the branches. Let's take a quick example here to understand what is statement coverage. So as per the examination control, we will be having certain question like this, where it would give you a pseudocode, and at the end of the code, it will say, what is the minimum number of test cases required for 100% statement coverage? Now they have given you the percentage of coverage to be achieved with help of minimum number of test cases. So all you have to do is convert this program into a flowchart and try with minimum number of paths for covering all the nodes. So generally SC is equal to minimum number of path, or SC generally we say that the number of test cases required for 100% SC is equal to minimum number of paths required for covering all the nodes. And that can be done with first path like this, where you can see that maximum paths are already covered, but there's one more path which is remaining, that is the B node. So we would need one more path to cover the 100% nodes. And that's where we say statement coverage is 2. So we need at least 2 test cases to have 100% statement coverage. Let's talk with some more examples quickly here and see that what are the various possibilities, what we can expect in the examination. So we have another way where we have nested if conditions. We have 2 nested if conditions there where we say nested. It generally means that the second if starts before the first if can close. So if you see here, the first if has begun and the second if also has begun before the first if can actually close. So once the reject card, after that we will have end if, end if. And this is the control flow or flow chart of this particular program, where you can see the 3 possible ways are moving from outside, outside, and one inside. So that means we have to cover all the nodes following the directions, and that's where we say statement coverage is 3. We can also consider a shortcut here, which says that it can be easily done without the flowchart. All you need to do is statement coverage is equal to 1 plus count of else. So all you have to do is count the number of else in the program, plus 1 will give you the answer for statement coverage. Let's follow both the things at the same time and also cross-check the shortcut to save your time during the examination. So example 2, we have got another code where we have multiple nested if without an else statement. And here the program would be, or the flowchart would be something like this, where we just need one path to cover all the nodes moving only from outside, and statement coverage is 1. But just to cross-check with our formula, of course, the formula says that it will be equal to number of else plus 1. And there are no else here, so answer is 1. Let's try with the third one here, where we have 3 ifs and 1 else. So without looking at the diagram, we can just tell the number of else plus 1. That means statement coverage will be 2. Let's see the diagram here. You can see that I can go actually from the outside path, that is read a greater than 0, b equal to 0, print a greater than 21, and print, and then come to end. And the second path will be required for a greater than 0, b equal to 0, print, and end. So that's where we need 2 statements to have at least, or 2 number of test cases to have 100% statement coverage. Let's try with one more example here. And we see there is a scenario where we have unnested multiple ifs. Where you see unnested means that when the if starts, it closes before the next if can start. So we have if, else, then end if, then the second if starts and has a else statement again. Now in this case, the flowchart will be something like this, where we can generally say that I could need one path moving from the left side and one path only from the outside, printing the alternative nodes, that is the false path. And for that, I would need statement coverage equal to 2. Now in this case, the statement coverage or number of test cases required for 100% statement coverage, the formula will be different. We say that statement coverage will be equal to 2 when else are there. That means even if one node is present on the else path, or in the program if you have even one else, the statement coverage will always be 2. If you do not have any else in the program, in unnested, it will be always 1. Because you just need one path inside, and that's all. You have the right answer for that. Let's try with one more thing, which is having a different approach altogether. So sometimes it's not that they ask you the number of test cases every time. Sometimes they give you the diagram, and they also give you the test what they have prepared so far, and they ask you that what is the percentage coverage achieved. So generally, the previous questions, what you have understood is that they asked you the minimum number of test cases required for 100% coverage. But in this case, they are giving you the test, they are giving you the flowchart, and asking you what is the coverage achieved. So for a given fragment of code, following paths test cases have been executed. What statement coverage is achieved? And the tests are like this. And the diagram will be provided to you. Now if you see here, we've got A, B, C, then A, B, D, F, G, H, and I. Now, all the circles what you see are called as nodes. Anything which is enclosed, we will call it as statements. And the directions are called as decisions. So here, the general formula to measure this is called as, like statement coverage is equal to number of statements executed by the test divided by total number of statements in the program or the control flow diagram. Now here if you count the number of statements, I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 statements in total, and the number of statements covered by these two tests, that is test 1 and test 2, are 6. Where you say A, B, C, 3 are covered. Then you say A, B, D, G, and H, where F and I are the 2 statements which are not tested. So if you divide 6 by 8, you get 75% coverage. And the answer is B in this case. So team, this is what we have got from the statement coverage, and I hope you have understood the various possibilities of the pseudocode, and at the same time you also understood that what are the various types of pseudocode which can be asked to you. At the same time, there are also other way around as well, where you give you the the flowchart and the number of tests they have prepared so far, and they can ask you what is the percentage coverage achieved. So you have the shortcuts to save your time instead of creating the diagram and getting the right answer immediately, or in this case, this will be the formula percentage for the statement coverage. So you can quickly look at any other examples as well. In case you come across anything which you do not understand, you are free to comment below. I'll be there to assist you and make you understand at the same time. So go ahead, keep practicing, keep learning about the same thing. I'll be back with another tutorial on decision coverage. Stay tuned for that. Thank you, team. Thanks for watching. Happy learning.